Hello and welcome back to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we are a bunch of buoyant bears who are drinking delectable drinks as we play Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure of cooperative storytelling. If you would like to speak with us on our internet things, there will be a link in the show notes on our link tree. You can also find us on Instagram, instagram.com/campaignconcoctionspod or at campaignconcoctionspod on the app. Before we get going, do we have anything that anyone wants to share? They've got any cool shit that they've got going on?
The Avalanche wins the Stanley Cup.
Woo! For those of us who sports ball in Denver.
Go Sports Puck.
Sports Puck.
Even
the only one that doesn't have a ball.
That's the point, though. Sports ball is the point, right?
I don't understand how you don't enjoy sports more, John. It's an excuse to go and drink.
I enjoyed when we went and watched the sports ball with the stick and the people that were running.
You're advancing my point forward.
We had a great time. I also learned what a double is.
We need to do a photo shoot with the minis now that they're all painted.
Digital self-shame.
Yeah,
Keep us honest about that. We'll post it.
I finished painting Sid last night, I think. Except for I got to do the base. But yeah, I'll get pictures up on Instagram with all the minis soon.
Excellent. Yeah. As
Yeah,
always, check us out on
true.
the Discord is the place to be. I wish Discord had made it easier for us to have a permanent link. There's a lot of moving parts to there. We haven't gotten there yet. But you can find us there. The link tree will be in the show notes. And you can do all the things there. So, drinks.
So, the first drink that we made tonight is called a Sonic Mule. It is flavored like a cherry limeade you would get at a Sonic. And it has, this specific one has 2.5 ounces of Luxardo cherry gin, which may not be an easy thing to find. So you can substitute the Luxardo cherry gin by putting in a mix of your favorite gin and cherry herring as a substitute for that. We made both versions and they both came out pretty good. I'm partial to the first one, probably just because I got it about closer. So start over. 2 ounces of cherry gin, 1 ounce of lime, 2 spoonfuls of Luxardo cherry syrup out of the jar that you get your cherries out of. Don't waste that syrup. It's the best stuff. And it also has, you shake all that up and you do, you have 6 leaves of mint in there. And as you're shaking it, the mint will macerate and get into the drink and flavor the drink. And then when you're pouring it, make sure you double strain to get all those little bits of mint out. And then you top it with pebble ice and 4 ounces of ginger beer. And oh my God, Bundaberg ginger beer is the best ginger beer that is. It's a little bit more expensive, but the little bottle is cute as hell. So get yourself some Bundaberg ginger beer.
Wow. I think I'm going to call this one the Atticus Soleil. Soleil is French for sunrise, and when you guys see the pictures, if you look on Twitter or Instagram or in the Discord, you'll see the lemon slice garnishes rising up the side of the glass there to the top. It's 1.5 ounces Atticus Jones rye whiskey, 0.75 ounce yellow chartreuse, 0.75 ounce lemon juice, 0.5 ounce Aperol, 5 mint leaves muddled, double strain over rocks, and garnish with lemon slices and a mint sprig at the top.
All right.
Oh yeah, don't forget the mint sprigs at the top. That effervescence, it does a number to the cocktail, much like a lemon twist or an orange twist.
Anyone else got anything that they would like to talk about before we roll on? All right. When last we met, the party just kind of got to know each other a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of explored the ship, and we left off with Sid, Patrice, and thank you.
Sorry.
Scald. No, I
I
couldn't
was
remember.
posting the picture. I'm
I couldn't
sorry.
remember your name.
I realized at the last moment that you were looking at me.
Scald
Apologize.
were going to go. It was evening of that same day, and you were all going to go and try and entice the captain with a cocktail, or at least a drink of rum. So,
whole bottle.
the sun is beginning to gently caress the western horizon. What would you all like to do?
Where's Skeld?
I was walking with you, as far as I know.
Because
You were napping.
Yeah.
I was, or did you like? I feel like you may have
This
said
morning
something
you said,
along
right?
the
No,
line
it's
of
evening.
it's
So
evening.
he was.
It's
He
evening
went
So
to
he
take a
went to
nap.
pass out because we got him shit housed.
yeah, but
Yeah,
on two
yeah.
drinks or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So I was
And-
like, it was
and,
like 3 or
uh,
4 pretty
And
quick.
fatback.
Yeah, and fatback. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pork and hooch. Good to go. Patrice is going to, you know when you wake up from a nap and it's like too hot and you just feel gross, and there's been no place to shower, and he's been used to being at home under the normal amenities, and this is his first time away from home, and he didn't sleep very well in this nap because the ship is moving. He's not used to any of that stuff, so he's just kind of got that like booze
Perfect.
kind of back, like it feels spicy. He's thirsty and he doesn't know he's thirsty.
Yeah.
He's like, I drank so many things, but he's thirsty for water and he doesn't know. He's just really parched and he's feeling gross and hot. And he rolls over and he looks around and he's wondering if Scald's inside the room.
There's probably some not great smells from next door either.
Oh, and is it like acrid? What is it?
Brimstone, a little bit.
Oh, that's not helping.
No.
No.
That's probably the strongest smell out of them.
So I'm like half covering my face, so I kind of look around and see if Scald's around it because I know I got more drinking that I've promised to be doing.
Even as you have grown up in a tropical climate, used to the humidity,
Yes.
it goes along with the heat.
Yes.
As you move away from land, humidity has increased to near perfect 100%. So it just makes it worse.
Oh, I'm so
So terrible.
I remember the feeling
Ugh.
of fast roping down to a ship
Ugh.
Oh.
and just getting hit by
The moment you hit the
spray.
deck, it's like,
I didn't. It's not like I had not been around humidity, just the pure humidity
Ugh.
of the Red Sea. It was a fucking
sounds
disaster.
so awful.
I threw up not long after that.
Yeah.
How do you get seasick
Small boat.
on a huge ship?
Oh, big boat.
It's an LHA, for those of you sailors out there who understand that. So,
I make my way to the door.
you did at some point, Scald. I remember, because I heard it this morning. You were going to go get him.
Yes, I was planning to go get him. Yes.
I come to the
probably
door and
grabbed Sid as
Scald's
well,
there.
Yeah.
because Sid was going to go with y'all as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Sid's probably walking along with me, and on the way, I'm probably like, so you fight pretty well.
I guess I've been fighting all my adult life.
All right. You drink pretty well too.
It's what you do in downtime when you're not fighting, I guess.
That is
Military life.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. It does. Very similar kind of both curricular and extracurricular activities in my life. Yes. Hey, Patrice. How you doing, bud?
Oh, yeah, that's my name.
That's what you told us it was.
It's true. Wow, it's
At
Man.
least you found him.
this is new for me. I'm not quite all there, but you said now is the right time to do more of the drinking, and I'm gonna trust you.
Patrice, the trick is, if you never sober up, you never get a hangover.
That's probably right about the time the brimstone hits you guys.
God, what is that smell?
I'm like, oh god, am I getting sober?
I need the two of you to make a perception check for me, please.
Oh, ouch.
I did not make it. I can tell you right now without my character sheet.
If we're doing passive perception, I stay at 14.
14? Yeah, so
We're still doing
don't forget that too. I don't know if I told you that, but I'm trying something at this table.
Oh.
Passive perception is the minimum you can roll on a perception check, unless it's something particular, and I will let you know.
Interesting.
Because it makes sense.
Okay.
Since you weren't
that
here
would
last
make mine
session.
a 13 as my
So
minimum.
both of y'all notice as the smell of the brimstone hits you. You notice on L's door that there is a sign that says flammable. There's a triangle.
No fire in here. With
No
the
fire.
fire.
In like I think gnomish and common.
Yeah.
Perfect.
With a drawing of a flame crossed out.
And the drawing was poor. You say
Yes. Can we go like on deck? And I need to see the water. I need to see something not moving. Please.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can go on.
Yeah.
So the trick is just look to the horizon as far out as you can. Don't
Okay.
focus on things real close by.
All right. I attempt to do that, and I don't know how. As we make our way upstairs.
Yeah.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, as you try and look out at the horizon.
That's a 5.
You have a massive sense of existential dread as the idea of the nothingness of the sea hits you. And so you have a hard time focusing on the horizon.
I mean, I would imagine.
Take a deep breath.
Make a constitution saving throw for
Alright,
me,
make
please.
Oh, it's so good.
You feel the burn. I see you. With your dice, you're fine. You feel the burn of it coming up, and you choke it down as it burns worse on the way back down. But you're able to maintain something.
I steady myself on Skeld, and I notice that Skeld is essentially like a gyroscope.
Yeah.
He's unwavering.
At all times.
And I change over. I put my hand on Sid instead, and it's like, okay, we're kind of like moving with the boat. All right, good.
No, actually, it would be because Scald is moving with the boat
Perfectly.
Yeah,
he
just
is
completely moving with the boat.
perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just,
I stay perfectly upright as the boat moves
yeah,
under
boat
me.
moves around you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. All right. So let's go do this. Let's go. Do we need to announce ourselves? We're in charge, but like I also feel like I'm intruding some of the time. Like, what's the best way to address the captain?
Can I hear Patrice saying all this from the crow's nest?
Are you still up there?
Yeah.
As the Sun City?
Yeah, I
Make a
think so.
perception check.
Where I would be. $14.
You're getting bits and pieces of it. Also, for the three of you, remember that you guys have now kicked the captain out of his cabin.
We didn't kick him out.
He offered it.
He
No,
offered
yeah,
up
but
the cabin.
either way, he's still not there.
True.
Is he located with the first mate?
Actually, yes, he was. He was sharing a room with her. However, as the three of you exit onto the main deck, if you would also make another perception check, the three of you.
Ooh.
19.
Okay.
22.
Same. Passive is 13, total is 15. Or no, I'm sorry. Total would be 6. So passive is 13.
Sid and Patrice would notice that up on the quarterdeck behind the wheel, towards the very rear, a desk has been set up, and it seems to have been mounted to the deck, and it looks like that's where the captain is doing his paperwork while the sun is out. So you see the captain is up there seated. There is a candle that has been lit, and he seems to be writing something in a ledger or a logbook.
I'll start making my way down the ropes.
Does he seem like
Dexterity.
predisposed?
Actually, hold on. I updated the
We got
catch.
one.
Acrobatics.
12.
Session drinks.
12.
Yeah, no problem. Even though it's only been like a couple weeks or whatever.
It's been a while since I've been on a boat.
Has it been? Because I always get that mixed up.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually been on a boat.
But also the natural fear that comes along with what happened to you on your last voyage is there. So it's you. At no point do you feel that you're going to fall, but your muscles burn and ache by the time you get down to the rigging.
There it goes.
I went through Twitter.
I did too.
I have no idea though.
Anyways,
Did the captain seem
I just
Does he seem really predisposed?
Predisposed.
Into what he's doing?
Indisposed.
Indisposed?
There seems to be a running conversation between him and Zaim, the second mate. Zaim is manning the wheel right now, and it's not like a in-depth conversation. You'll just hear him say like, for Scald, I'm not even going to pretend to make it make sense because I don't know what they would be saying, but it's a basic conversation about like,
sure.
early in the voyage of just basic operation stuff that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, totally.
If this was like a traditional army unit, I could do that. But I
Right.
about
None of us are actually sailors,
So-
as much as I would love to be. What can I tell what direction the smell of brimstone is coming from?
It was coming from El's room. After you exit that hallway,
Yeah.
it definitely dissipates.
Okay. All right. I mean, I trust L relatively.
The sign puts
He's
you
been on boats before.
enough at ease
You know,
that, especially after you saw what he had made the day before you left.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right. So, I want to find the captain. I'd assume he's probably coming off shift. Right?
These two have seen him.
Okay. All right.
He is a desk, and they will point him out to you. A desk has been established up on the quarterdeck,
Gotcha.
and that's why he's having that conversation with
Makes
Zayn,
sense,
who's at
makes
the
sense.
wheel.
Sorry, we were trying to sort out a Discord thing to get the drinks in there. I apologize. I'm just gonna walk right up, and I'm gonna say, Captain, you about to finish up your shift by any chance?
Well, it's just it's just the end of the day stuff. Marking in the log. Nothing that's pressing right now.
Sure.
What you got for me?
A bottle of rum?
Is it from you?
No.
Oh, then who is it? Is it from you? As he points to you, Patrice. You notice that he has got this beautiful quill in his hand. It's like at this point, fountain pens haven't really been invented yet,
Sure, yeah.
but he has got this like metal tipped, just beautiful quill that has been forged for him in some way, and he kind of twirls it like a stylus, and he uses it to point. It's almost like someone who has a swagger stick. You've seen him with a little Pat-esque.
Yeah.
He points it. Is it from you?
Yeah. We had a little run in earlier with words there, and I would like to make my apologies in the right way, as I've been informed. This is how you do it at sea, and I would love to share a bottle with you.
he sits back in his chair and it kind of creaks and he hollers, Miss Yasmin, 3 chairs, please, ma'am. And he hollers. You notice that throughout the day, the officers always address the crew as Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, right? Okay. So it's always Mr. Fauci, Mr. Kadim, Miss Yasmin, Miss Kari, and it's they address obviously Captain, First Mate Sharon or Amar, and really the only ones who have last names are the officers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Could I see how his handwriting is on the table? Could I look to see? I would like to look to see.
Are you doing it subtly or
no?
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please. And this one will not go back to your passive.
18.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is
first good roll of the night.
obviously nothing like mine.
Right.
It's a double digit.
Right. So in he is writing in common.
Got it.
It is very flowery. Think the original Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
That beautiful
Big
script,
swoop.
right? But it's really tight as well. So the capital letters are huge, and then everything else is really tight and
It's beautiful and functional and.
Which for someone like you right now who are struggling to just stand up, it is quite well. And you're not exactly super steady either, Sid.
No, this is funny how you worded it. It was awesome.
It's just the fact that even it's calm seas, but there is a natural, always a natural swell, and it's just perfect lines. But then it also
what? Amazing,
right? So
how I would like to know if the quill that he's holding reminds me of any of the quills that my mother would have used in her writing.
I'm gonna get back to you on that.
All right, cool.
Because I forgot about that, and so I have to read your backstory a little bit.
I just opened it.
Well, it's funny, right? Because it's like in my other game, we've been playing that one for a year, so I have those backstories ingrained, right?
Yeah,
some of yours like. Surprisingly, Matt's is the one I remember the least because we hardly ever fucking talk about it at this table. Sid's I've got
I gave you
down.
a chapter book.
Well,
right,
we wrote that. We wrote big.
together a lot
I also wrote about 10 pages of organizational chart for you.
Yes, you did.
So
And it is beautiful.
So yeah. So I'll get back to you.
my backstory a whole lot yet here.
No.
No, you have not.
We've touched on a little bit.
A little bit. I'm very.
I'm trying to save
Briefly,
yours.
Yeah.
You're gonna be my Becca.
Okay.
We haven't touched Becca's backstory yet,
Sweet.
and it's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck him up.
Does he have a nice pen set like a?
It's just it's a real simple setup, so you can tell that this had been moved out of his quarters,
Okay.
right? So there's an inkwell.
How is
That
it fashioned to the table?
There's a little cutout, an indention
Oh, great.
where it sits,
Great.
and then right next to it is a little indention
For the quill?
for the quill.
Oh.
Right, it's singular. It is a very sparse desk, but you can tell that the level of craftsmanship that went into it, as someone who has been around repairs, not ship making, but also being around a town of craftsmen, the craftsmanship is quite high, even though it's super simple. Right, which makes the craftsmanship even that more impressive.
Excellent.
Well, and at this point, as you guys are kind of looking around, the captain has, stoppered his ink, put his quill down, he blew on his pages, drew it out, closed his logbook. Miss Yasmin, one of the blue tieflings, has brought 3 wood folding chairs for you to sit down on. Kind of like camp stools, you know how it's like.
Nice picture.
And then he actually reaches into his desk and pulls out 3 copper tumblers.
Yeah, like that one.
And
Sid's gonna smile as those come out. She smiles.
yeah, so you're very happy.
I'm very happy.
Because copper is fairly rare.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's not something that it's not available. it doesn't really. It's not great. I mean, it doesn't last.
Expensive.
It's
You know,
expensive to make. It doesn't
Hard to
doesn't
find.
do anything. It's not steel. It's not all those kinds of things. So
Except for somebody like that.
well, even
For
for
L.
L, it's not. There's not a it's mostly steel and
Copper's not a great metal, just in general.
For conductivity, I
Especially
would
at
think,
sea.
like for electrical stuff.
I mean, yeah, but that's really
Gadget
all
was
it does.
gadget wizard, not
Gadget
mechanical engineer.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about like Faraday cages and,
Yeah,
and copper
yeah.
wiring and stranded stuff, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
ooh,
there
copper
there
would be
is a
really
city
good.
where that is important, but you guys are nowhere near that city. But that's where he's from. So, and he lays he sits those out and he brings out a flask and he's like, yeah, this could use a refill. And he's waiting for you. He sits back and he just kind of looks at you, Patrice.
Is there how hard would it be to fill the flask with the bottle?
It's a pretty good sized.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I would immediately fill the flask to the brim.
Make a dexterity check though.
Oh,
You're at fucking C.
I love it. Not
Oh yeah. I think that's a 16.
Maybe Patrice just needs to be
Yes.
a little hungover all the time.
It's mostly because you don't want to piss the captain off again.
Mm-hmm.
You're really
Mhm.
focused and you pour.
I lean against
desk.
Skald. As I'm doing it. I put one shoulder up against Skald to let's get this going.
Perfect. That's how I was pouring drinks last night.
And then he points to the 3 tumblers.
And I go. I put about 2 fingers in each one.
Okay.
I put more in one and I hand it to Skald. Actually, I put 3 fingers in Skald's.
You don't put 3 fingers in the captain's?
No, the captain has a flask full.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
First thing. So we probably got a half bottle of rum left?
Ish.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I put the stopper back in and I place it on the table. Unless he starts to give me the stink eye as I start to place it on the table. Because it's a nice table.
No.
Alright.
You get the sense that it's quality workmanship because quality workmanship is what lasts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a tool.
He's not pretentious about
Yeah,
it.
he's not pretentious about it. So
I lift my glass up to the captain, and I look to him, and I just wait for him to give a toast.
and he
It's his table.
doesn't toast.
Yeah.
But he looks at Patrice. Water on the bridge, my son. Cheers.
Let's throw it.
Clink our
And it's
glasses.
the bottle that you bought, which was very, very nice.
Anejo spiced rum, I believe.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
that's what it
It
was.
is the equivalent of that Kirk and Sweeney, but the 25-year.
So
How's the bottle look?
delicious.
The bottle is fairly simple, but it is a bulb.
Mhm.
Most rum comes in a bulb.
Is it branded or braided on the outside?
No, it is not. Generally speaking, and this is something I just thought of now, to differentiate the spirits here in the world
All right.
is bottle shape.
That's
Yes!
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
As a bartender, I like that a lot.
Mhm.
Rums are generally
Yes.
bulbs. Whiskeys are kind of just the spherical
Cylinder,
cylinders. Yeah.
Cylinder
Like a
with
Nika
neck.
bottle.
Yeah, just like a Nika bottle.
The
How it should be.
That's right.
the gins are square.
Got it.
You know, I'll come up with others as we see fit. But so
Vodka's not a thing,
well, vodka's
Right,
a thing.
yeah.
Vodka's a thing. It just comes in big jugs.
Right.
but it's not
Plain
differentiated
jugs.
from moonshine.
Yeah, right.
It's,
Vodka's just multiple distilled moonshine. That's the
Right,
only
yeah,
difference.
exactly.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Quadruple distilled moonshine.
But you know, at that point, you know, make a wisdom check, straight wisdom.
17. I'm going hot.
As the as those words come from the captain, like your shoulders drop, you relax. Like you've been extremely tense. Right? It's just because,
Since offending somebody.
not just that, just like it's you have felt much out of place
Correct.
where you're at, not just physically, but and it's nice to have that acknowledgement of everything's okay. Yeah. But at this point, it's just kind of small talk. He asked you about any of the ships that you sail on, which I'm sure at some you're cagey, some you're not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's nothing of import.
Yeah.
Really comes out as just a general conversation. Asks everyone where they're from, Sid, and everyone. So, but about the time that the drink finishes, he at some point, none of you have even noticed, but the bottle is gone. And as you all finish your drinks, well, I know that we could sit here and do this all night, but it would be best if y'all got some rest. Have y'all decided on if you're going to keep a scheduled watch, or is it just something that you're going to pop in and out of? Because if you want to be put onto the schedule, we can. But our schedule right now has already been set, but feel free to join as you see fit. Just let me know. Actually, don't make a decision right now. Inform me. Just let me know in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you guys will have your last full solid rest, and then we can go there. Second mate Zayn and Mr. Nazir will be running the third shift tonight. So if any of y'all need anything, he will. Those two will be available. And are you still up on the deck? Kind of paying attention?
Yeah, I think I decided I didn't want anything to do with whatever this was.
And at this time,
and
supper
just went back to
supper had been set up. All of y'all, the rest of y'all probably would have gone and eaten and everything. But I need Scald and SOA to please make insight checks for me.
That's a little
Real, that's not good.
I was probably not at dinner.
It's not like it's a time frame,
10.
So.
Also 10.
But yeah, I get.
Depending on how late it runs, I need a solid 8 hours for that.
Is that something
when did
Sark
you
would
start?
be ready for?
After we had the conversation about in the gun deck.
Right around.
I figured that's
I think you'd
noon.
probably be wrapping up around supper time. You always remember there's 2 extra hours in the day. It's a 26-hour day. So, yeah, you should probably be fine at this point. That was mid-morning. That was mid-morning.
Okay.
So that'd probably be around 10, 11 o'clock. So midday is 13. And then...
So yeah, he'd probably wander down for late.
yeah, you'd probably catch...
Late
So it's
dinner.
about a 2-hour window that Cookie's got food at set now, right?
So Sark's probably sitting in the dining room until he sees Elle walk in, and then he goes back upstairs. He's like, he ate. I don't care anymore.
It's enough time for him to finish and realize he hasn't eaten yet today.
But for you two with those 10s, in addition to just the general craziness and madness of the ship, there should be more crew.
Interesting.
16, or 8, 10.
Did the gun crew come up?
Hold on, I'm doing math. 14 people should not be enough to man a ship.
So you're saying with all the people we've seen, it's not as many as there should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard your question and I was like, I think that's not what Morgan meant.
Yeah, he means there's not enough total. Not like some people didn't come to eat. Okay.
Well, Scald will definitely go get some grub. That's for sure.
Is there anything else that anyone has, anything that they need to do tonight?
Just on that note, like is it like extremely light, or right like is it like there
With
should be
a-
5 more people,
With
or
a
should
10,
there be?
you can't.
Okay.
It's just but it's bugging you that there should be more. You can't
Okay.
figure out how much.
Okay.
But supper has been had. The sun has set. The watches are beginning to roll out. Because at this point that you haven't informed the captain of any other operating procedure, the lights are put out. So there is a lanterns that are put at the bow, the aft, and on each mast, just in case. So it's to make sure that people can see. So is there anything else tonight that anyone would like to do before we roll into bed?
I think Patrice, because of his nap, would be desirable to be part of the first watch. Even though he knows that he's not needed, just to familiar himself.
Yeah, Zaim, second mate Tariq is gonna put you. He hands you over to Mr. Nazir, who is the senior able seaman afloat right now. So there's two people at watch in addition to the second mate. One's up in the fore crow's nest, and then Mr. Nazir is walking the deck, and he just kind of takes you around and just kind of explains the things that he's looking for. And then, like, as the time goes by, that first hour or so, you hear him holler up to Miss Kari, who was up on in the crow's nest to kind of get an eye of what she's seen. As having been up there recently, you get a sense of what the even surprisingly, just as short of a distance that is.
How much of a difference it makes.
It makes, So, but yeah, extra hour or two, it's no big deal. I'm just a long rest for the evening. So, with that, as it is now the top of the hour, we are going to take our first break of the evening.
All right.
Yay!
And we'll be back. Welcome back to Campaigns and Concoctions, and we have a few new cocktails.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So the first one that I made, I called the Desert Rose. Now, I did improvise a little bit because we didn't have any Sotol on hand. Sotol is made similar to the way that Mezcal is made, but it's from a different desert palm plant.
Desert Spoon.
The Desert Spoon, yes, thank you. I could not remember the name of it. But very tasty stuff. So I did an ounce and a half of Mezcal, since I didn't have any Sotol. Half an ounce of creme de violette, half an ounce of Saint Germain, half an ounce of Aperol, 3/4 ounce lime juice, and 3 very hard dashes of Peychaud's bitters, shaken and strained into an up glass. And usually I garnish it with some flowers or some edible rose petals, something like that. I made another drink that needs a name. So we're going to call this the To Be Determined. And it was an ounce and a half of Ransom's Old Tom Gin, half an ounce of Aperol, half an ounce of Cointreau, 3/4 ounce lemon. And I think that might have been it. No, I'm sorry, half an ounce of Benedictine as well. And that was shaken and strained up with a lemon wheel garnish on the rim.
And I did a variation of one of the drinks I've done previously. This is my favorite variation. The Java Flow, where you blend it with fresh pineapple as opposed to using canned pineapple juice or pineapple juice that you strain yourself. It is better as a blended drink, hands down. This particular variation involves 2 ounces of overproof dark rum, 1 ounce or 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of coffee liqueur. I used Mr. Black this time, and 4 ounces of cream of coconut, plus a handful of pineapple and like a handful of ice. I did not measure either one of those things. Those are to taste. This one's pretty pineapple forward, which I love.
Same.
Oh my god.
Pineapple's my favorite fruit on the planet.
It's especially fresh pineapple. Not like canned pineapple is not. It's a different thing. 100%. Like I grew up with that, and I didn't try fresh pineapple until I was an adult.
Oh my god.
Broken.
Yeah.
I was like,
I will eat pineapple until
Your
I
mouth
can't
hurts.
put anything else in my mouth
Oh my
because
God.
I'm like dying because it hurts. Yeah,
Yes.
I love it. It's my favorite thing.
blended Java Flow. Get you one. Oh, it's garnished with a pineapple front.
Yes, and delicious.
Specs.
Specs.
All right. So as Patrice finishes his round around with Mr. Nazir, roll a d20 for me, please.
8.
You find yourself addressing all of the able seamen the same way for you. Like you've started to add that Mr. and Miss to their names.
Got
It just kind of falls naturally, even though the able seamen speak to each other. Just in the you just kind of fall into that, and you're not quite sure why, but as you go down for the evening, Patrice, everyone else has gone down. Patrice, SOA, and Scald.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourselves floating in water that is both freezing and warm.
Oh God.
Yet you can, for you, normally, Scald, breathe. SOA and Patrice, you can breathe.
I normally breathe in water.
Okay, that's right, you can. You can. This is odd for you, Patrice. I forgot you were a sea elf. It took me
Right.
I reach for my neck.
Look how
to
blue this
talismans
mini is.
around
Come
my
on.
neck.
Look how blue this is.
To me, sea elves are green.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Fair. Maybe wrong.
Warrior didn't fuck up. You fucked up. You painted your mini wrong.
No, they're blue too. It's just
Yeah.
that's. But like I said, I also think tieflings are French. So, as the three of you look around, you notice each other, and then bluish green lights. As you begin to wave like that,
To SOA.
bluish green lights begin to appear in front of you as shadowy figures sit behind a floating, almost looks like a kind of sectioned off, like you know how city council tables that have that.
Yep.
But these are much more ornate. I can't think of. There's no real world example. Because judges' tables or judges' benches are always straight. That was my first one. I was like, that doesn't work. As shadowy figures arise behind them, moving from left to right, you see a shadowy figure that fluctuates between what looks like almost Cthulhu-esque shadows and a feminine form. You see a large body with a massive set of horns or antlers. You see a large male muscular figure with a trident behind it. You see a kind of an amorphous thing. Can't really put it together. But it fluctuates and stays its shape. Sometimes it does take a solid form of a fish, a jellyfish, a humanoid. Can't really tell what it is. The first words come out from the left. You hear a distinctly feminine voice that says, "Blood is in the water." You recognize it instantly, Scott.
Oh shit.
The next voice is a deep, deep baritone. Changes in the pantheon are affecting the court. You two, SOA and Patrice, recognize this one instantly. The third voice, a not as deep male voice, comes across. The power of one has begun to affect us all. And then the fourth voice, fairly neutral. It's can't really get an idea. It says, "We have no power to affect it, but it will affect you three." And as soon as the last words are spoken, a well of warm water surges, and the three of you feel like you are being forced to the surface of the water. And as you break the surface, you awake in your beds with a rime of salt water around you.
So fairly normal for me.
I was gonna
extra.
It's warm this time.
It's warm. Okay, so it is different. It is different. Yeah.
I don't remember the bunking situation. Am I in the same room as Sid?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I never remember what it is. So.
I thought we were
I
together.
think Patrice and Scald are together.
Yeah.
Sid and Esway, and then the two Tinkermerians are together. Man, I feel like I'm more jam-packed in this fucking corner than normal. And I don't like it.
I'm going to immediately go next door. Right? Like, I'm just going to walk over there and just knock on their door.
Okay. You two are up, awake at this point.
Mm-hmm.
This is... You're fine, Curtis. You're fine. I need to stand up.
Scout?
Yeah.
Scout?
Yeah. What?
Can I hear this? My passive
Yeah, you
perception's
can
working.
hear
I
it.
barge into their room.
Yeah.
Scout is naked.
Definitely.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm
Setting the stage for all our listeners.
I'm standing
We all
at
know Scout
Patrice's
is
bed. Scald is standing at Patrice's bed. Patrice has just woken up, so Scald hopped out of bed and ran over there. And he's just standing over his bed, hands on
Dripping?
hips.
with salt.
Dripping salt water. Like, you okay, buddy? How you doing? What's going on?
Are there any tattoos that we didn't notice until we saw?
There's
you
a
naked?
lot of tattoos. There's a lot of tattoos. Yeah.
Are they all ocean themed?
A lot of them are like poke and stick. Like, there's a lot of really shitty tattoos that are like there's like a shitty tattoo on the inside of his wrist. There's a shitty tattoo on like his right pectoral. There's a shitty tattoo on his like left ribs. There's a shitty tattoo on his back, on his thigh.
But then there's
and then
one tattoo.
Well, and then around all of those really shitty tattoos is slightly better tattoos, and then significantly better tattoos, and then like master level tattoos. So pretty much all of his skin is covered in tattoos with just small gaps here and there. But you can see how like he started off with no money, and then got to a point where he was like, no, I want some good ass fucking artwork on my body, right?
But not enough to cover anything.
No, he didn't cover anything.
No.
He didn't cover anything.
No, that's part of the tale.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right.
Yeah. When I say almost none of him is not tattooed,
I got it. You're talking about your penis.
Like, you're not tattooed on your face, right?
no tattoos on the face. He does have some on his neck, but it's usually covered by like the collar of his, like coat and stuff.
It's like neck tattoos to here. Not
Yeah,
to here.
it's not like up to his jaw. It's like halfway up his neck. He has tattoos. Yeah.
And
I'm
I'm like,
I'm assuming you two were there too.
Well, you saw each other.
Right, but like, I don't know. Fucking know what I'm dreaming.
I'm double checking.
It's valid.
I was there. It was wet. It was hot. It was cold. It was loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is cocked.
That's cocked.
Yeah,
But it's a
That's-
7.
it's definitely
It's a
cocked.
7, but
If it's cocked, reroll.
Definitely
Okay.
cocked.
It was, I was like that.
We went up by 1. I'll take it.
So it's an 8 because you don't have any modifier.
I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm like, yeah, yep, it's an 8.
Because we've had this.
We said this
Yeah,
every
we've had
time he
multiple
rolls
times,
history.
yes.
Fair enough.
Yes,
The two historians.
if
If
either
you
of
love
us rolls
history, got
history,
it.
we have 0 modifier.
It
That's
makes
just
sense
the way
now.
it's going to be.
This makes sense now.
It didn't matter. It's a really low DC. You know because she's told you about it. That's the deep court.
Gotcha.
The deep core?
Deep court.
Court.
I think that's what we call it, right?
I'm going to turn to SOA, and I say, have you spoken with the court before?
I don't know what the court is. The voice in my head was there.
So you've spoken to someone from the court before.
I also have spoken to someone from the court.
You recognized a voice there?
That was Haven.
Interesting.
Fuck. That makes sense.
The queen was there
None
as
of
well.
this makes sense. Keep talking.
The queen was there as well.
The queen.
Yes.
As in the dark stuff that comes from your hands, queen?
Yes.
Okay. The thing you have no idea, but it's also like the thing that kind of defines how we murder things.
I mean, I stab a lot of stuff. I've also shot cannons at a lot of ships. Occasionally I drown people. I tied a guy to a pole once and waited for the tide to rise.
None of this surprises me at all. I say out loud.
I mean, like, I heard of him.
I've heard of him too. It's just like I didn't know, like he's shorter in person.
Much.
Both my character and me.
I've been waiting for a few.
I don't
waiting on that one.
So good. Oh, that was the only short joke I've ever heard at my expense where I was like, "That was well played. That was very well played." Usually they're lazy.
Tell me more about the court.
I mostly just know that the court exists and that the queen is a part of it.
Who was the second one who spoke?
Oh, that was Haven.
Fuck.
You think of it as Haven.
I think of it as Haven.
Whatever you think of it
Right
as.
now.
As. There is a name. You always don't know it yet.
It's okay.
I mean, I have a name for it that I put in my backstory. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's equally incorrect as mine.
Right. I love that.
Yeah,
Solid.
considering that there are multiple letters that are next to each other that shouldn't be in this name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it.
Right.
There's a few too many consonants.
And
Right.
It's like trying to understand German.
Valid.
They spoke of a one. They said that it will affect us. And yeah, I'm feeling worried. How do you feel?
That voice has been after me, trying to make deals with me for a while now. And I want fuck all to do with that. So not great. Not feeling great.
It's not really a feeling.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm trying to know more about you. Can you
I
share a
mean,
little bit more here?
I-
We've had a moment. Let's get in there.
Fine, Patrice.
Like if I drew like a wheel and it had like sad and mad and
Skjald, still completely nude, says, "Patrice, do you need to hug it out?"
yes,
And he walks over and just wraps
this
him
is
up in a big
this
bear
is the
hug.
soggiest hug I've had in a long time.
Does Patrice also sleep in the nude?
No,
I'm imagining
Valid
Patrice with
question.
like more than magic underwear.
potentially, but not exactly. Yeah,
Pretty close.
he's a relatively modest guy. He's not
At the
not
very
opposed
least,
to
like a
skinny
night
dipping
shirt.
if everybody else is doing it.
Right.
But he's not going to be the one that initiates it.
Valid.
You know.
Sounds like me.
If Skjald was to say like, no, you got to try this, he'd probably try the sleeping in the nude thing, but it hasn't come up yet.
But Patrice, it really worries me that there's 4 of these things now. I don't know what this court is. Maybe you can enlighten us
I mean,
there.
I don't know that much more than you guys do. I know that the queen is a member of the court. I know that she's the one that dragged me from the deep. I know that there's...
Which is a good thing.
Sure. I know that there's problems between the queen and at least one other member of the court. I know that the court also quarrels with other pantheons of these things that like to call themselves deities.
Yeah, so the fact that
Breaking Nate's heart here.
The only way to be agnostic in
it's
Yeah.
perfect. The fact that it's right, 4 of whatever these are together, and they're worried about something, and they're pointing us after it, right? Like, can we just be fucking honest about that? They expect us to deal with their fucking problem.
I mean,
It sounds like we've been asked because they can't.
Did neither of you sign a contract?
Contract? No.
I have been trying to avoid making some sort of fucking deal with whatever that fucking voice is for a very long time.
I mean, the Queen had me in a more compromising situation than Patrice does right now. I say as I rub his back. As we're still embracing.
Do you feel? Is this okay? Like I
I'm
mean,
fine.
we asked first.
I'm
like,
very
how
fine. I offered. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. I think I'm ready to be done with that.
Okay. I just kind of give him a little rub on the shoulder and a little pat, and then I walk over and like start putting on my pants.
Yeah. It's pants time.
Boys, I don't give a fuck.
Neither do I.
Okay.
I'm
No,
awake now.
it just seems like
I'm
if we
awake
need
now.
to like, like.
I'm not going back to
Oh, I
sleep.
can tell.
Yeah. Looks, it was an exciting dream, right?
Definitely.
Terrifying.
I've only had like enriching experiences with Haven and no contracts whatsoever. I've been asked and then I do. I just listen and I try to I try to be what's expected of me.
You haven't been offered anything?
No.
You haven't been in a bad
Like I receive,
in a
but
bad
it's never
spot.
a question.
and it was there.
No, I've led a wonderful life with a loving family and support from all sides. I've only
What's that
I've only
point?
gained. I've only gained from this situation. I haven't had to. I mean, the only sacrifice I've had has been self-imposed, and that has been relinquished recently, as you guys saw when we were maybe not you, but like Skeld. I've been doing new stuff. Like that was the thing that I was giving up that I thought was a part of what, but. Not anymore. So I'm trying new things, and
So you like the fatback, is what I'm hearing.
oh my god,
And the rum.
less so.
Do you
But
have
the
some rum?
second,
I walk over to
There's the-
my stuff.
Their room has the liquor cabinet.
Yeah, I walk over to the cabinet, and I'm like, rum, tequila, mezcal,
Wine.
gin,
Whiskey, I think this is a
wine,
rum situation.
rum. And I grab a bulb of rum, and I walk over and I grab a couple of
is this
rocks
how rum
glasses.
usually works? Like you haven't
just
had it in a
put it
while,
down.
and now you have it 3 times within 24 hours.
No, you typically don't not have it for a while, Patrice.
That's the one.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
And I pour like half a rocks glass of rum for myself, like a third of a rocks glass of rum for Esway, and like a quarter of a rocks glass of rum for Patrice, and very intentionally hand those two in the correct directions.
And then I grab the bottle, I take a big swig
Yeah.
straight off the bottle,
Yeah.
set it down, and then start sipping my rocks glass.
And like before you can get the bottle to your lips, I clink off the bottle with my glass and down mine.
And what rum are we drinking?
This is just some general spiced rum.
Okay.
It's
right, it's
there's
the Sailor
nothing-
Jerry of
no, there's nothing in that cabinet that is not good stuff.
It's
This was Prosperit's cabinet.
all right. So I just reach in. I'm looking around and I'm like, well, I put the least expensive stuff on the bottom, so I grab a bottle from the bottom shelf, which is still going to be great.
This is like
Right.
that Appleton Estate
Yeah.
we were drinking the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah, the 12-year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably take a sip and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Prosperin.
You swigged it.
You are sure are
I like
prosperous.
fuck,
right? Like,
She's got good taste, and then I fill the thing back up again.
So we're drinking. We know next to nothing.
I mean, I know that the Deep Queen is a member of the court, and now I know that Haven. Do you call it Haven as well?
no.
Haven and whatever SOA calls it is a member of the court. I know that there's a serpent. I think the serpent is a member of the court.
It didn't appear that they were there.
Gotcha. I don't think that the serpent was present, but I have to assume that whoever the third voice was also a member of the court. I feel like the Deep Queen and the serpent don't hang out much, so it doesn't surprise me that the serpent wasn't there. But but they're ostensibly a unit. They're they call themselves the Deep Court, so they've got to be one thing, kind of.
So
they're on the same page.
Or occupy the same space.
Some
Something
of
along
the
those
same
lines.
goals.
Probably
Some of the
not.
same enemies.
Probably
Probably more-
probably more of the same
they have
enemies and the
similar
same
enemies.
goals. Yeah.
And now we've got to take the brunt of whatever it is that's happening. It sounds like.
I mean, right? Like they didn't give us a directive.
No.
They just warned us.
Yeah.
Do we tell the others?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Might get some of the more cagey elements in our group to open up a little bit about whatever the fuck they're doing. Specifically, people who are working for the director, the boss, the manager, the whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Do you think he's part of the court?
No. Absolutely not.
Maybe he's the one.
I doubt it. I don't know for a fact that this serpent can't shapeshift, but I assume that they were talking about the serpent.
You think the serpent's the thing that they're opposed to right now because it wasn't there? Is that what you're saying?
The serpent is a problem.
What does that mean? What is the serpent? What type of problem is the serpent?
The kind that needs to be solved.
Like removed, excommunicated, destroyed, like appeased.
But
loved?
typically when people say problem in this context, they mean killed.
I'll say it won't be appeased or loved, at least not by me.
Maybe imprisoned.
This is really good rum.
That's that ransom old Tom.
Mm.
Super good. I also love the fact that we just have a plethora of cocktails on the table, and we're all just like,
Trying.
I'm gonna have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'm gonna try this one now. I'm gonna drink a little bit of that. It's fucking glorious.
Yeah.
You can drink some of this.
I drink the whiskey drink. I drink the lager drink.
We definitely tub thumped the fuck out of this table.
We did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I do think that we should share this with the others.
In the morning though, right?
We don't need to wake people up over this.
No, we don't have to wake anybody up with this. No, I don't think that's necessary. Sid for sure should know about it, and maybe we can use it to leverage some information out of Sark and Al.
I think they only give information when they're paid.
Information is a form of payment.
Fair. Yeah, tradesies.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd probably be. Yeah.
I mean, they are. They seem to be in the information business.
Yeah.
So maybe they know more about this deep
That's
court.
fair. That's fair. And they might have even a way of, like, contacting, or, somebody who does.
I think
Everybody's got a boss, right?
they've made it very clear. The
Everybody's
deep court's
got a
made it very
boss.
clear they can contact us when they feel like it.
Okay, well, until tomorrow, thanks for the drink. I'm starting to rum, pork, quartz, salt water.
How far into my trance was I when this happened?
Not very.
Okay. So I would need to go back to trancing.
Yeah, you
get
would need
long
to trance
rest.
maybe 2 hours.
When you say trance, I think about music, and I'm just like, he's in his room, just like,
Right. He's voguing right now.
yeah.
One of the other reasons Dancing Lights is the best cantrip.
Throwing a light switch rave.
Right. I don't know. It seems that every table I run, prestidigitation and thaumaturgy become very popular.
That doesn't surprise me.
Because they're fun.
They're super easy. Yeah, they're super easy to utilize in a lot of ways.
Yeah, prestidigitation is just like
I just
you know the thing I wanted.
Yeah.
It happened.
it happened. Yes.
I did the fucking most brilliant thing with prestidigitation
Well,
on Thursday, and I was
all right,
like,
so
Yeah,
let's
on the break. Yeah.
Because you can go down the rabbit hole with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So the three of you go back down for the evening. It is not you get all the effects of a long rest, but it is not a solid rest. It is a little disconcerting. Roll a wisdom check for me, Scald.
Yes. Fucking, why am I getting 7s and 8s? It's just all 7s and 8s. I can't even be like a small portion of a corner of that.
You gotta stop rolling that
off the
D10,
bottom.
man.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Curtis.
God,
Son of a bitch.
he made him look. John bit on so hard.
You said wisdom? Just straight wisdom?
Wisdom save?
No, wisdom check.
Wisdom check. That's gonna be an 8. A fucking 8. I got a fucking 8.
You were exceedingly confident in your bit about the serpent.
Oh, I didn't need to make a wisdom check
No,
about
no,
that.
no.
I was very.
No, this is why.
Yeah, okay.
Now you're not so certain.
Oh.
It might not have been the serpent.
Because
Because
that they were talking about?
yes, because the queen has always been very direct about the serpent.
Sure.
Calling it by name or whatnot.
Would I
Mhm.
would I think that maybe she was being less direct because there were other members of the court present and other people that were
Not with that roll.
Okay. Valid. Alright. I mean, like, mostly the queen and I have talked about the serpent, but I would be very surprised if there were not other people that
This
she
would
was
be like
enemies with.
after you guys going back to
Okay.
So
Alright.
this is just as you when you say something very
Yeah.
confidently
and then
you're
you're like thinking about it afterwards.
I might be wrong.
Yeah. So in that case, what I do is I go out onto. I fully get clothed and armored and suited up, and I'm looking for my sword. And I'm like, where the fuck is my sword? Like, it's not in my stuff, right? And like, I'm like looking for it for a good minute, and I get to the door and I open the door, trying to be as quiet as possible so as to not disturb Patrice as he's sleeping. And as I start sliding the door closed behind me, the scabbard of my sword gets stuck in the door, and I'm like, what the fuck? How was my sword on my hip when I couldn't find it literally 30 seconds ago? And I slip out and I go up onto the deck, and I'm looking around. Can I tell who's in the crow's nest?
I'll make a perception check for me.
All right. 8.
You know there's someone up there.
He rolled a
Right.
5 this time, though.
Yeah,
It's getting
which
worse.
got me to an 8.
You know there's someone up there.
All right.
But
I
they're
climb up-
they're in the forward crow's nest.
I climb
the
up into
center.
the crow's nest with the person
Okay.
who's up there.
It is Kari,
Kari.
one of the
Um,
women.
Woman? Okay. And she, her pronouns for her?
Mhm.
Okay. So I get up there and I say, Miss Kari, do you mind if I join you for a moment?
Not at all.
Thank you. Do you ever have a really weird night, Miss Kari?
She looks at you and goes, on a fucking ship. Every night is a weird night.
A very good point there. I pull out a couple of shot glasses. I set them on the rail. I pour a shot for each of us, and I say, I know you're on watch, but now there's 4 eyes here. We'll do one now. We'll do one when you're off watch.
She graciously thanks you, but she won't take.
All right. I say, no problem, and I drink them both. And I say,
But
Kari,
you can tell like she's not offended or
Yeah.
you know.
I say, Miss Kari, is it okay if I tell you in extremely cryptic terms how weird my night was?
There's no bartender here for you to talk to.
I'm here. If you happen to open your mouth and words come out, so be it.
I refill the shot glasses. I hand her one. I hold them up. I cheers her. I take the shot glass back. I take both shots. And I start telling her in the most vague terms possible about the dream and the conversation we had. And I start explaining, and I use the term the serpent. I say, I was very confident that it was the serpent, but thinking back, I think maybe it wasn't the serpent. And if it's not the serpent, then I have no idea what it is that I'm getting myself into. And as this is going on throughout the night, I pour 2 shots, hand her a glass, cheers her, and then drink both of them.
As she gets the sense of it, she does it, and then she'll just hold it for you.
Yeah, until I'm ready. Yeah.
And at one point, she kind of stops you after when you start to express your lack of your confidence.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a way of contacting Miss Prosper?
I'm sure the captain does. I'm
You
sure
guys-
we do.
you guys
too. We
have a
a
sending-
stone. Yeah.
Her father is one of the most learned individuals, so I've been told, in all the world. Perhaps maybe you can ask him some questions through her.
That's a great idea, Miss Carr. I venture to guess I probably shouldn't do it now.
Well,
Do you know what time zone she's in?
I don't even know where she is.
Neither do I.
It's Prosper. Do you know when she is?
Yeah, exactly.
I do you one better. What is Prosper?
Yes. She's hot. That's what Prosper is. And terrifying. Prosper is also terrifying. Which also makes her hot. Yes.
Because the 3 of us that said that, they were also head shaking in agreement.
Yes.
If there's one thing I've always learned after coming aboard with this crew, is Prosper always had ways of getting information.
That's fair.
And it sounds like what y'all need right now is some good information.
Miss Kari, I gotta tell you, I was really just looking for someone to trauma dump on, but you presented me with some very good solutions to my problems, and I appreciate that very much.
If there's one thing that the captain has always encouraged with us, is to speak up when we think of something.
I appreciate that, and I would love for you to continue to do that. I think we're going to become good friends if I don't get too
She
drunk.
also rolled an 18.
There we go. And that's it for my scene there.
Well,
I end up hanging out with her and just shooting the shit,
you can
asking
do-
her about
as-
her life.
As part of your long rest, you get 2 hours of
Yeah.
light activity, right?
Yeah.
So this will count as that.
Cool.
She tells you about being from one of the cities in Wudan. I don't have that on me
I
right
don't think
now.
I've ever been to Wudan, right?
You might have been through, maybe. So the three
yeah.
the 3 main cities are port cities.
Okay. So I may have.
They
been
make
to
their
those-
they make
one
their
of those
trade on the
cities, yeah.
creation and sell of magical items.
Okay.
I don't think it's in either of these packets.
Okay,
Nope.
never mind. I tried.
Rudan has barely been touched. It's like they've stopped in. Like my other game stopped in for like a couple of sessions to go visit a magic academy.
Sure.
One of the major schools of magic is there. Divination
Okay.
is in one of the cities you probably have been through.
Okay.
It's directly north of Haven.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then
Then I probably have been. Yeah.
It's one of the few places on Librarth that is predominantly
Tiefling.
tiefling.
I do
They
remember that.
they didn't deal with the Great Hunt like those in Seacamp.
Gotcha.
So that hasn't really scarred them
The
like
same way.
the same
Yeah.
way. They are mediocrities.
Gotcha. So I probably ask her about her childhood growing up, and what
She-
her life was
you know,
like, and ask her about her favorite cuisine from Wudan.
So
her
Wudan
favorite
is
drinks,
a
and,
spicy
stuff like
Middle
that.
Eastern
Yeah,
cuisine.
yeah,
She
yeah.
talks about how she went to sea fairly young because her parents were in a magic factory that exploded.
Jesus.
Like those magic factories do.
I mean,
They explode.
there's when you put them
Work conditions are not good.
when you put
You
them,
think I create NPCs without backstories?
No. I'm just saying, like when you put magic factories in economic free trade zones where there's no regulation. What do you expect? All right?
What the magic factories need are unions.
They need unions, and they
And
need
a fire code.
They need a fire code and proper regulation, and some
God, I
kind
totally
of
want to make
governing
like a fire
and enforcing
protection
body.
like engineer now.
Yes.
So,
Like a fire inspector. Oh my god.
but so she talks about it. You
Yeah.
know, it's like she was
Factory auditor.
you know, she was probably 8, 9 years old, you know, ran around the cities. There's a lot of charitable organizations that
Yeah.
helped her, but then, you know, a ship came in, and her and Kadeem were actually, they had served together for a long time before they got picked up by the captain
Gotcha.
and Prospering.
I need to make a roll real quick.
What's this for?
I need to make a Constitution save because of how much I've been drinking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I got how many hours of sleep before we woke up?
Maybe 2.
Right. And so I did 2 hours of sleep after drinking all day, then drinking all night. And now
No,
I
that's fair.
have been drinking. That's a 9. My save brings me to a 10. I don't think that cuts it. So
You're definitely going to be puking off the crow's nest.
I don't think I'm puking. I think the Constitution save wasn't so much for like whether or not I'm puking. It was more about whether or not my guard gets let down.
Okay.
So I share.
Just let me know about what they are in the future,
Yeah.
so I can.
Yeah,
make that.
absolutely, totally. So
we'll
I
overshare because you're drunk.
I overshare a little bit as she's talking to me about her parents, as she's talking to me about living in the streets, as she's talking to me about her first ship. I commiserate in a very the intimacy of people who have shared experiences.
Mhm.
I connect with her on that level, and share with her elements of my life that I have not shared with anybody in a decade and a half, 2 decades.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
But eventually she's like, you probably should. I'll go to sleep.
I said, you know what? I think you're probably right. And I like when I'm sharing, I'm doing it conversationally.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
as she's talking to me about stuff,
Yep.
I commiserate with her. Not like I just suddenly am like, let me tell you about my terrible childhood. Right? Like some drunks do. But I say, you know what? You're right. I think I slept 2 hours. I need a solid 4 to get through the day. Thank you again. When you're ready for all of the shots that I took on your behalf, swing by. I'll give you a bottle to take and do with what you will.
Appreciate
And
it.
I go back down. I maybe fall off the fucking crow's nest.
Please make an
Yeah.
an acrobatics check for me, please.
I don't think
You want
Scalp
different dice
pukes,
first?
but I think Scalp might fall out of a crow's nest. 15. And with acrobatics, that's going to bring us
Just took way
to
longer than I was planning on it.
a 20.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, so you actually have no problem getting back down.
I gracefully fall my way down.
So-
to the
And
deck.
well, actually, so here's what happened. Kari had stood so she could still see. You had
Yeah.
sat down,
Yeah.
you know, and had leaned against the
Yeah.
bucket of the crow's nest.
Yeah, yeah.
As you got out, that the air, the sea air hit
Yeah.
you, the coolness of it at night, and it kind of sobers you up just
Yeah.
enough to get
Gotcha.
back down.
Yeah.
And
Very
you're able
good.
to go back down. So, all of you hear the hustle and bustle of the first watch coming up as nautical twilight begins, as the sun is coming up very soon, and we will take our next break.
All right.
Yeah. Welcome back, family, to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we are bitching about the temperature in Denver. It is
Accurate.
it's been 100 degrees the last 2 days.
And it's
It is
also-
fucking hot.
It's
Not okay.
It's also really humid for Colorado, which
Which
like,
is
it
worse.
has been, right?
Yeah.
Like
And it's been raining, and the rain hasn't done fuck all. For the
no,
temperature.
I'm like, oh cool, it's now 93 degrees.
Yeah, instead
And
of
more
98.
humid.
Yeah, and
You know when
more
rich
humid.
people complain about how much taxes they pay? When Colorado people complain about weather, that's kind of how it comes off to the rest of us.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
That's fair. You're
but I
right.
don't give a shit.
Watch
Also,
stop
fuck
them.
me. Yeah.
Watch it stop me. Fuck them.
But Michelle
Yeah,
spent 2
with
weeks
all
in
of
Texas, and then she came back here. She was just outside. And she was like, "Oh my god, it's just so perfect." And I was like, "That's why we live here."
I am also from the Mojave.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck this weather. Okay.
Fair.
I spent 25 years in the Mojave Desert. Fuck this weather.
Okay.
There's a reason I left.
So, the rest of the evening. Oh, that's right. Thank you. We got one cocktail.
Jared helped me make a brand new cocktail. It's called the La Michelle, and it involves a whole kiwi, but it's a yellow kiwi or sun kiwi. I don't know. It's whatever it was. John.
Dave, my workout buddy, was asking me to make a yellow kiwi drink for him earlier today.
Did you put mezcal in it like a champion?
I didn't make one. I was like, I'll figure one out. Here it is.
Here it is.
You made
The La
it. Tell
Michelle.
me more. Tell me
So
more.
it has 2 ounces of mezcal. It has a whole sun kiwi muddled in the drink. It has a 1/4 ounce of agave syrup. It has 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice and 3/4 of an ounce of elderflower liqueur. We use Saint Germain.
Excellent. Excellent.
And then so you muddle
And it is
that,
delightful.
you shake it, and then you dirty dump it into your glass. And the garnish, I think the color on the orange twist is exactly
It's
right.
beautiful.
Perfect.
And it has the right
perfect choice.
aromatics to it.
Oh my gosh,
It's perfect
it's just
aromatics.
What you're pointing at with what I'm drinking is just a Manhattan. I just been drinking. I drink classic cocktails.
I was like, no, there was 2.
No, I love all the drinks you drink, but I like classic cocktails.
That is
fine.
a beautiful classic cocktail. That was 2 ounces of
2-1-2.
Atticus rye, 1 ounce of Dolan dry vermouth, and 2 dashes. You didn't use
I used
Dolan
sweet
dry?
vermouth.
Oh, you used Dolan
Manhattan's
sweet.
supposed to be a
Sorry.
sweet-
Did you use the Rouge?
I would use whatever was there. It was
Was
red.
it the red? The
Yeah.
Rouge. So Dolan Rouge, yeah. Dolan Rouge vermouth, and
was
2
gonna say, still
dashes of, still Dolan, yeah. 2 dashes of Angostura aromatics with a, you did an orange twist? Nice.
And
Very
a cherry.
nice.
And a
a cherry. Beautiful.
The
Beautiful.
way I like it,
Excellent.
which I didn't even tell you.
Very beautiful.
I just put it
drink.
right on top of the big
In
rock.
case anybody didn't know, Curtis had asked what the recipe was for a Manhattan, and the recipe for a Manhattan is based off of the original area code of Manhattan, which was 2-on-2. So it's 2 ounces whiskey.
That's
1
where the
ounce.
805 conversation
Yep,
came
that's
from.
where the
huh?
805
Okay.
conversation
So
came from.
the good news for everyone listening at home right now is you didn't have to hear half of us talk about area codes for like 15 fucking minutes.
Literally
Like,
the entire break, we were talking
That's
about
all we
area
did.
codes.
I was not
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Jared and I were slaving away in the
Yes,
kitchen making
yes.
drinks.
Which we appreciate greatly.
I was thinking deeply
However, you
on a
only
balcony.
came out of the kitchen with 2 drinks.
We're
and I
not
feel like-
bartenders, John.
All right.
Okay?
15
Especially
minutes.
not me.
It's 15, I'm just saying it was 15
But you know
minutes.
what? You know how many dishes he cleaned while he was in there?
All right, valid.
Probably about a dozen and a half.
It's valid.
Okay.
It's valid.
All right,
Jared's,
Doesn't go
Jared's
unappreciated.
prolific.
That's
here we go. After
Sure.
Scald goes down for the evening, the rest for Scald, SOA, and Patrice is complete yet
Lackluster.
lackluster.
Yes.
Is a good way to put it.
Yes. We're done now.
Sark, you were up before everybody and make your way up to the central crow's nest, which you have now taken on as an official duty. Part of the first watch. Everyone else wakes up not much later. It's the hustle and bustle. So you guys know the way you guys would have figured this out by now. The first and second shift overlap quite a bit.
Yeah.
First shift starts at nautical twilight. Second shift ends at nautical twilight, which is most of the day. So it's like, I think it's like, so for those who don't know, nautical twilight is when the light is beginning to show, but the sun is below the horizon.
Mm.
It's a military term that we use. So it's neither morning nor night. It works for both. So
Gotcha.
And the third watch is the one that's it's solo by itself from nautical to nautical. So Sark, you're up there at the top. I will get you to make a roll here in a moment. The 5 others of you get a sense of breakfast cooking. Today's is eggs, hard boiled. A couple of soft boiled are available if you like it that way.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
boils and a hearty.
there's bacon today, as well as Cookie made some croissant.
Oh shit! How do you make a croissant?
Cookie is talented.
It's called talent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called skill. That's why Skell called her a chef the other day, and you were like, "It's good," and he's like,
No.
"No,
No, a chef
I've seen a cook.
Yeah.
This is not one."
Right.
Is there anything that anyone would like to do before we roll into the meat of the day? Are you done with all of your artificer shit,
Yep.
L? So you rolled for your alchemist fire at 6 days. Is what it lasts. Okay, I'm putting that on here so it lasts forever because the internet's forever. Thank you, Al Gore.
Speaking of croissants, I went to Trompeau for Aubrey's birthday breakfast the other day, and not impressed. Is a fan of the Dutch bakery over Trompeau in regards to treats. So if Dutch bakery, please sponsor us. That's all I want to say.
They're both delicious.
But no, we're eating Trompeau's rye.
I prefer French cuisine over Dutch, but
you know, she loves a froggy cookie. What can I say?
Is it in the shape of a frog?
Yeah, it is.
Well, how the fuck are you going to compete with that with a child?
With that shit. Come on now.
That's not fair. I could have made a frog cookie.
Do you know how to do?
God, no, I don't know how to do it. But if I had made a frog cookie, I digress. Not a fair comparison, dog.
Well, for an 8-year-old, it is.
Points.
Valid.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So,
Jesus Christ.
I lost track of where I was. Thank you, Curtis.
You were asking if we
Croissant.
wanted to do anything before we kind of got into the day.
Yep.
I do think if we're all having breakfast together, we should probably...
So Sark is obviously not there.
What time does Elle show up?
Probably close to the end of breakfast.
Yeah. So
Okay, so that's not happening then, right? Like, it's not.
We're walking out as he's walking in.
Or we're gone by the time he gets there.
Is,
Like,
is
I
there
think
is, is
SOA got up
coffee served
early
on
this
the
morning for
ship?
her, and she gets up early.
they don't have coffee unless L or you guys who bought coffee. I can't remember. I know L did.
I did not buy any.
Someone I couldn't remember if someone bought it.
I bought wine.
Unless L shared it with Cookie, they will have tea.
Tea sounds delightful.
It does. Especially that Wudang tea.
So, are you not sharing it yet then? Everything.
I just don't think we've all been together yet. Then.
Yeah. Okay.
I walk over to Patrice and I've got like 5 eggs, like 3 of them soft boiled, 2 of them hard boiled, and I've got like 5 strips of bacon, and I'm like, Patrice, you gotta try this. And I wrap the bacon around the egg and then just pop the entire thing in my mouth, and I'm like, it's like the best thing. It's like so fancy.
I wrap the bacon around the egg and I put it in.
Roll me a d6 and tell me odd or even.
Odd.
Is it soft boiled egg?
He bites in. He doesn't stuff it all the way in his mouth. He puts it halfway in and he takes a bite, and the bacon is perfect, right?
Yeah.
So like it doesn't all tear, and so it's still like stringing, and then he has to like keep pushing. Oh, he keeps trying to like bite more, and he's just like fuck it, and he just stuffs the whole egg into his mouth.
Yolk is dripping down his chin at this point.
And he can't get tongue out with the and look at his skull. And he says his skull. He said,
Well, now I'm hungry.
Right?
This is the best. This is really the best.
It's the best. And I say as I shove another one in my mouth. And I'm done. That's it for me for the night. I mean, I'll say goodbye when we're done. That's it.
Can I get you roll perception check for me, please?
So Sid gets a soft boiled egg. Would they have the shell on? I'm used to
No,
the shell.
no, it,
Match my
no.
pencil.
They're ready to go.
Ooh.
Yep.
They're ready to go.
Ooh, how decadent.
Oh, sorry, this is how I ate them. Okay.
You eat them with the shell on?
Well, my grandma would soft boil them, and then we'd crack the top quarter off, and they'd have a little egg dish, and you sit it in, and you scoop it out.
No, they're ready to go.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Both on the roll and passive.
Okay.
Jesus.
Monks, man.
Nate.
No, just that's me.
Yeah, it's just this mug.
Well, but monks have
Wisdom bonus, but apparently
No,
all of my
but
characters have
like
perception.
he's good at stuff.
So, looking off in the same direction you saw yesterday morning, you see another mast. And this time, you can identify the flag that is flying. It is black.
Hell yes.
You can't identify anything more than that right now.
I will call sail ho again and point.
And at this point, you hear the captain holler to Mr. Kadim,
Mr. Kadim.
and he runs up the rigging, and he grabs the spyglass off the crow's nest and actually climbs to the top, and he stands on the mast, spectacularly balanced, as he looks out through it. To which he responds, "To arms."
Fuck.
We're about to fight Taika Waititi.
Fuck yeah, we are.
I'm so down.
Salesman death.
So you guys have a while to go, so this is going to be all preparatory stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
But L, Scald,
Yeah.
SOA. So everyone but Sark.
Yeah.
Forgot. Everyone else is magic-y stuff.
Yeah.
Roll an Arcana check for me, please.
Oh!
Not a breakfast. I don't do
My
magic.
best roll of the night on the last roll.
Oh shit!
Okay. Ooh, that one.
The last one so far.
Great roll.
Sure.
No, it's not straight. I'm proficient, bitch.
That's a 19 because
That's
I
a
rolled a
19.
19.
That's a 19 because I'm proficient.
10.
You feel something. Something's happening on the ship. You can't determine where it is. Blah, 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 blah.
25.
Jesus. This fucking guy. This fucking guy.
That's alright, I did well.
So everyone but SOA can feel that change that they felt yesterday morning when they first saw everything. And you, because you didn't go with them. No, you did. You did go with them down after the magic stuff last.
Yeah.
So you know that something's popping on the gun deck. With a 25?
You're seeing
the
go,
Matrix
look,
right now.
he just knows.
You know it's necromancy magic.
Ooh. I wasn't fast enough to get a picture of Morgan's face, and it's crushing my soul. That was the best face. I needed a picture of that face.
I know there's necromancy going on in the gun deck.
On the gun deck, yep. So, but
That's
you...
not surprising.
But you all know that the 4 swivel guns have been assigned to the 6 of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I shall let you have it now. What are you guys going to do?
What direction is the ship coming out of?
The ship is coming from the port, and it's off to the
Port direct or port aft?
port bow.
Port bow.
So coming from
I go to the bow and I grab a swivel gun in the bow.
So they are mounted swivel guns.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna be there. Also, I do want to remind you, the 4 of you who were down there yesterday, that you were also invited down to the gun deck. So if someone wants to go down there,
Actually, you know what? I'll go down to the gun deck.
Okay.
I'll go down to the gun deck.
I had professed interest in talking to the person that fixed the ship that's broken.
We hadn't gotten to that part
Got it,
yet.
all
So,
right.
but all of you have been shown and are proficient
gun.
in swivel guns.
Got
There's
it.
been enough time. So if someone wants to grab,
I will run to a swivel gun.
Okay, which one? So there's
How many are there?
There's
Sid,
4.
you should take the prow, the bow port.
Okay.
So that's the one where they're coming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one aft on the aft quarterdeck. On the port side, there's one aft on the
Oh, shit.
starboard, and then there's one bow side on the. There's 4 total.
Yeah.
I'll take
Okay.
bow starboard.
Okay, so you're across from Sid
Okay, I'll take whatever side they're coming from.
on the aft.
On the aft side.
port.
Yeah.
What's the range on the swivel guns?
He's like, should I just be doing other things?
I tested this out with another group, and what I did was okay, but I found better stuff.
Nice.
So 250 feet. For regular range, disadvantage range 500 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Realistically. It's
Almost longbow.
Yeah.
Fucking longer than I have.
With a fucking 5-pound ball of lead.
It's a 3d10 damage.
Yeah, that's fucking solid.
I was doing
Are cannonballs made of lead?
Usually.
think so.
Mm-hmm.
The first ones were.
I was doing like
Easy to shape.
it was like 20 plus 2d10 for damage the first time.
Oh, gotcha.
So
3d10, I think that makes more sense.
I had tried to make up a stat block and I didn't.
Yeah,
like it,
yeah.
so.
It didn't
So
work. It happens.
There's one swivel gun that's not being manned, right?
I mean, you played that right.
If I
That shit was all
if I take
explode.
that swivel gun, will I be within 60 feet of the port bow gun?
No.
Then I will. Would I have to take the port or the starboard port, starboard bow?
So that's where Patrice.
I would relinquish it to you if you asked.
There's that though too.
The open one is.
I'll
kinda
take. So I'm on the aft starboard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to be within 60 feet of that if I can.
Okay.
So I'm going to set up my Force Eldritch Cannon on the port bow next
Okay.
to the swivel gun, and then I'll take my swivel gun.
Okay.
Yes.
Skull.
Yes.
As you go down,
Mhm.
you see kind of ethereal beings rise from the deck as they begin to take positions on the guns. So the whole gun crew, none of them are actually manning the guns. They are managing the crews. Their gun crews are spectral fuckers. Think Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Do we have to paint some more minis?
But they're all tieflings and Aasimar. And all of the Aasimar are in their form. The scourge, the wings, all of it is popping.
Protectors,
right?
Yeah.
And all of the tieflings are emanating their magic. They're not actually showing it, but like they're so like the blue tieflings have an icy glow on them. The red are fire. The black have a necromantic thing, so on and so forth, right? And so you turn and you see Master Guns Delilah looking at you, and there is a sly smirk right there looking at you. So now you see, and she's super excited. She's ready to rock.
I look her dead in the eye. I pull a cigar out of the inside of my coat. I put it in my mouth. I snap my fingers and light, and I say, "Well on ya, Gunner. Well on ya. Where can I help?"
I have nothing for you.
All right.
As you can see, we are quite well manned. And at this point, you are hearing the clank of balls being loaded after powder and they're being packed.
Yeah.
And so what you're seeing the gun crew do is Delilah is directing traffic, and Bader and Azra are setting up stations in the center in between guns. So those piles of cannonballs are now being directed, and as you look down, you can now see that the deck has taken a different shape, where there are little pockets where cannonballs can be sit, and as the ship drastically turns, they'll stay there.
Yeah.
And then the guns actually, you didn't notice it before, but where they were sitting, they couldn't really move.
Yeah.
So they kind of sink and push forward. And it's not the specters that are doing it. The ship doesn't.
Nice. So I look at Master Gunner Delilah, and I say, "Master Gunner, can I stack sacks and balls?"
She points to the bow of the ship, and you see that there's powder kegs.
Yeah.
Lock those in place, and so you would know that they
I
need
start
to come.
following orders.
She
I
comes
start
in.
pulling them down.
So
Patrice is going to pull the piece of leather that he received from the blacksmith.
Okay.
He's going to pull it out of his component pouch, and he's going to smell it across his face. And, she's so hot. And then he's gonna rub it across his chest where the giant skull with roses growing out of it is, and he's gonna say, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us cast off the works of slavery and let us put on the armor of freedom." And I cast Mage Armor.
Nice.
Solid.
That was good. That was good.
Solid.
You're on port bow.
No, I think I'm aft.
Aft port.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Sid's the one I'm going to hand it to. I'm going to walk up as I'm finish setting up my Eldritch Cannon there. I'm going to pull the flask of Alchemist Fire out.
Okay.
And hand it to Sid and say, "Don't open this." Try to throw it at something first. It's going to burn on contact with air.
Roll a history check for me, Sid.
No.
No, is the right answer.
Great.
It is a straight 4, yeah.
So, you've seen these things. It's because of how you fit on the team.
Yeah.
You are not comfortable with it. So you're like, okay, I've seen it done. Okay, so like you're at least competent in that. Like, okay, like you probably have a pouch that is unused, like an empty grenade pouch that you can just pop it in, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then so Eldritch Cannon, L.
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to do for that? I'm really gonna rely on you for this shit.
I'm just going to set it up on the rail.
Okay.
Somewhere near, probably somewhere a little bit aft of that cannon, of the swivel gun, and just say, "Don't touch it. It's fine."
You and L. Fewest words possible. Always.
And then L's going to run the whole thing on his turn.
Okay.
Real quick, I'd like to just point out that the way that cannons are generally run is you have sacks of powder, which get packed in, and then you have cannon balls. So when Skeld was asking if he could stack sacks and balls, that's what he was referring to. Just happens to play into the general theme of juvenile jokes of our group.
I think you were trying to have weird ghost sex. I mean
that too. That's not off the table.
What are you doing, Sark?
A spectral threesome.
Why stop it?
More than 3 down there.
Whoever's above me,
Why stop it?
So that's Kadeem.
Kadeem, I'd be like, I'm probably better at boarding actions. Where do you want me?
He had come back down. He's going to keep you there. He says that if we get to the point where we're boarding, which is not something we normally do, with these types, he's very specific about this type of ship. That then for you, and he points, and you notice for the first time that on the edge of the sails, the crossbeams, there are ropes that have been tied. And as you look, all 3 masts have them. So you can just run up, kick them. It's like they're secured. They'll standard most things, but if you give them a good swift kick, they'll fall down. And say that's how those of us up here board. At this point, you're finished. Everyone's ready to go down the gun deck.
I run back up to the top then.
Okay.
Once I'm done helping out, I run up to the top. I run up next to Sark.
So you're up in the crow's nest?
Wherever Sark is at,
he's up in the crow's nest.
I'm gonna get up there with him.
Okay, so I need Sark. Actually, you know what? Everyone to make a perception check.
Okay.
Speak to me, guys. Come on.
It's gonna be a 22.
16.
Yep. What we want from the crow's nest?
13 plus.
I'm almost positive it's 22. It might be higher. I'm gonna double check.
11%.
Okay.
The same thing you did.
17.
I think that should be
22.
the exception to this rule. If you roll a nat 1, you miss it.
Yeah.
that would
That's
be
fair.
That
So
would
you
be
still
my
did crit fail, yeah.
right. Like, which you can't crit fail with skill check.
You
technically.
natural one
But-
too?
Yep.
It's
You
way
can't.
more
Both the Tinker Marions got natural ones.
That's amazing.
As long as he's setting up my cannon.
One
Yeah.
natural 1.
So 22.
1, yes.
19?
19.
17.
11.
You're focused on moving around with the guns and everything, Patrice. So you're not sure.
Very proud of that.
22, 19, 17.
So
So
for literally
for
4 words. but
Scald,
Really good.
SOA, and Sid, you see as the ship comes up, it is fucking massive. 3-masted. It is huge. The flag that is flying is a black flag that is, traditionally we're going traditional with
Yeah,
these pirates.
it's pirates.
But this one is it's not a skeleton. It's an actual armored person that is kind of, the face is indifferent, like you can't really tell what it is.
Yeah.
But it's holding a mast that appears to have a flailed dragonborn skull on it.
Do I recognize this?
I need you two to make history checks for me, please.
That is a 2.
No, you don't.
I do
You
not.
have not run into
That
these.
is.
Which is shocking, but
Probably an 11.
No, it's a 12. Bards.
Birds.
Always something.
Birds.
Jack of all
When,
trades.
birds. Jack of all trades.
So, what you know, not much, you know this is a new group, but they're well funded, multiple ships, known as the Brotherhood of Blood.
Is Scald back on the deck at this point?
He's up in the crow's nest.
Okay. Because I would yell to you and the
Yeah.
captain that it's the Brotherhood of Blood, and ask if anybody's
but
familiar
I know
with
that
them.
name even if I don't know their herald.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead and roll. Roll
Alright.
another. It's going to be history, but
That's an 18.
as is the captain's. The first thing you hear is the captain say, "We sink her, lads." And
Mm-hmm.
new to the scene.
Yeah.
Their thing is to board ships, skin the bodies down to the bone, and then mount them on. Think reavers.
I was going to say the Reavers. The Reavers.
I was that too.
Like
Yeah,
Reavers.
fucking Reavers, yeah. Good to know. Good to know.
So as you, now that
They're
you,
Reavers without an excuse, is what it is.
So
they have an
a
excuse.
Jane Cobb Reaver reaction.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
they have an excuse. It's just not a really good one.
Can we see that?
If we're very, very lucky, they'll do it in
That
that
that is
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't not with your role. Scald, now that you've seen it, and you recognize it, you're seeing skeletal remains and bloody bodies that are hanging,
Chained to the sides
that
of
are
the fucking
chained
thing.
to the side,
Yeah.
to the side, and like even a couple hanging off the sails
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
floating in the wind.
Yeah.
I really just want you to lean over and go, well, they're going to board. And me just
Yeah,
be like,
so
goody.
after hearing that, I throw my arm over Sark's shoulder. I take a long drag off of my cigar and I say, we're going to get close enough and we're going on that deck. Because they're going to try to get on ours and we're going to kill every last one of them and put their planks in the sea.
We're gonna see how that actually works out.
Yeah.
They're gonna try. Like the crew of the Shirleen's gonna try and fucking put her down.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't want her
yeah,
to come
absolutely.
close.
Yeah.
So the ship slowly.
Scout isn't like
boarding
a
action, so.
silver linings or rose-colored lenses kind of guy. You know? He's very much this is going to go as terribly as possible.
So at this point, the ship is slowly coming closer. The crew of the Shirleen you feel a nervous energy about them. They are obviously fairly competent. They are all in their positions. Patrice, you feel a slight tug on your shoulder, and because I believe it was Kadeem as well. He has sent Ismahane over to Miss Ismarine and says, Kadeem says don't worry about repairs until after we're done. He will come find you.
Aye.
And at this point, you see someone who you haven't really seen yet before come up to the deck, and it is a pure black tiefling.
Ooh.
Her name, you've met everyone else at this point. She is clearly Aaliyah Zitrani. She's the sailmaker. She is very elegantly dressed in a very fine floor-laid gown, and has a rapier that has been strapped to her back in a in a scabbard that is upside down, so she can draw it.
Ooh. Very
So-
smart.
She's very she seems even though
Wicked
she's
eye.
not
Wait, why did I think of that?
Right?
Yeah, your sword's all like right side up and shit. How lame.
I know.
like-
Mine's just on my hip sometimes.
I know.
I need it.
Most of my characters carry their kukri.
that's why I always if I do short swords I have them mounted so I just
But where do your tomahawks go?
belts.
In people's faces.
There's that too. Remember Carol Ann Walker?
Yeah.
In-
Oh yeah,
Underneath
near the
seat.
ribs. Yeah.
You know, there are multiple places that axes go.
Okay.
It's mostly people's faces.
That is one reason.
Fantasy or real life?
Both.
Yeah.
Because I haven't pulled off a real life one yet.
I know.
That's one
We'll
reason
get
to
there.
watch Terminal List.
The climate wars are coming. You're gonna have a chance, I promise. I'll make sure that you do.
So you hear the captain. For those of you who are closer to the aft, Miss Aaliyah. So glad that you graced us with your presence today. We look forward to the fight. And she just kind of grunts.
Does she got all the
I like
these
her.
Yeah.
ethereal-
No, she's a solid woman.
Where's Cookie?
Not on the main deck.
Interesting.
He's got his spot though.
You gotta make sure you take care of your chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Patrice is like, this guy is really treating us well.
Right.
He wants to make sure. Yeah.
We're gonna keep him alive, if anybody.
We're worried about the cook.
Yeah, he doesn't die.
That's right. We can lose a lot of people on this ship. We can't lose Cookie.
Cookie makes some sauce. So Cookie
As
God,
the
dead.
ship
Soft boiled eggs wrapped in bacon.
at this point, after Captain McKenzie addresses Aaliyah, there's a quiet calm that sets over. You hear the wind in the sail, that gentle swoosh of water against the boards of the prow. As the ship comes closer, you begin to hear uncontrolled ravings and yelling coming across the water from the other crew. And that's what we'll pick up next time.
Nice. Love it.
Boat
So,
fight.
jumping ropes.
Right?
Boat
Question.
fight.
Matt knows the jumping
I
rules.
do know the jumping.
I've got this swivel gun, right?
Mhm.
Can I shoot in that direction, or is it pretty
No.
much only this direction?
You'll only.
Yeah,
They
what's
don't
the
turns
actually,
around
no, like,
and I
like
can
we should
shoot.
record this. Like
It
what's
is.
the
It's
like
it's
The
a
traverse.
so
Yeah,
up front. It's a little bit more than 180. It's probably about almost 210 because as the bow comes to a point,
Sure. So you can
they
go
have
across
it
the
set
bow.
so it cannot cross that rail.
Okay, so
Right.
you're going from
So-
basically the stern mast.
Yeah,
and
so
then
it's
all the
from
way
from
back
rail
across.
to so it's from rail to rail.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, that
on
makes
the
sense.
the back it's 180.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
But so like I'm on the bow, so like I'm not gonna be able to get that all the way around anytime soon, right?
So since you're on the starboard side or on the port side,
Yeah.
You got.
you
a shot.
will be able to shoot.
Okay.
That's where they're
Right.
at. They're on that left side.
How wide is the ship?
I mean,
About
the
60
second
feet.
stuff's on our
Something
fucking
like
deck.
that.
I don't want to be shooting.
Right. Yeah. absolutely.
Like that's
So-
where I'm at.
But I've
Or if we're
been
getting
coached to be
Yeah,
that's
near
how
the gun itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, they told you how to do it.
Very-
No, but like if I'm on the gun, I'm not doing other shit.
Yes.
No, that's all you're doing.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm doing.
That's all you're
All right.
However, they're like, you move.
So if this, is this for, so on this
Great
picture
story.
in this setup here, this is this aft
Part
this
of it.
forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Forward.
gun's pointing forward.
Yeah.
So
This is the bow.
Bow.
Sid?
Oh, I had it backwards. My bad.
Oh, I thought.
That's where you'd be.
That's
Okay.
how it should be. Yeah.
Because then there's the Eldritch
Yeah,
Cannon
Sid is
here.
in the front. I did that
Yeah.
backwards. That's my fault.
Yeah, so so the what is it called again?
My Eldritch Cannon.
Eldritch Cannon.
Is
there
there
a ravine?
Cool. All right. Well, family, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We will, when you see this, hopefully you're massively confused by everything that's been popping up on the Discord tonight.
Right. Yeah.
So this will be dropping here soon. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you all very, very much.
Be good to each other.
We hope that you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Peace.